welcome to Katrina's Creations. This is episode 114. I do have a cold, so bear with me today. I've cut my Kleenex and everything ready. So anyhow, I have not one, not two, but 3 finished objects this week. So let me get started showing them to you. The first is the virus shawl that I was working on for a lady at our church. I have given that to her already, but I took some photos before I gave it to her, so I'm going to insert those. The next thing I finished was a pocketbook. This was made from the yarn that I got in the knit crate this past month. It was a super chunky. You can see it in here. The handles I got from Hobby Lobby, and they were on sale for 50% off, so I only paid $5 for them, and they are wood. This is what the inside of it looks like. And I did felt the bag, so it did shrink just a little bit. Now, what happens when you felt? You have to use 100% wool in order to do that, and then you put it in the washing machine with some towels, and then you put it in the dryer with some towels. And you can see it's kind of, the stitch definition is still there, but it really tightens everything up. I mean, I'm not going to be able to like easily poke my finger through here. So this was a pattern that was written and given to me by Karen of SSK Yarners, and she made one of these and sent me a picture, and I was like, oh, I want to make one. She sent me her pattern, and so she is planning on putting it together and putting it out on Ravelry later on. So anyway, this is it. It is 12.5 inches across this way, and it is 10 inches deep this direction. So it fits these handles like perfectly. So I look forward to using this in like the fall, because this is definitely fall colors. And if you don't want to felt this, you could actually use an acrylic bulky, but it is definitely like a super chunky yarn. Like I said, you can see it here. It's really, it's not just your, it's more like rug chunky type of yarn. So, yeah, that's project number 2. Project number 3, I finished the Pladaptation. I actually had finished it last week, and I told you that the neckband was just a little tight, so I did some modifications. So I'm going to show you what I did. Here's the finished product, and you can see this neck still is a little tight. It's a little off center, but it fits okay. I'm not sure if I'm going to, I just fixed one side. I'm not sure if I'm going to fix the second side, only because I only have a little bit of this rust color yarn here, like that much. And I don't know if I would have enough to put the striping in for the additional yarn that I add. But I will show you where I added it at. If you look at this section here, right here, you'll see how the length here, this side, you'll notice, is longer. I actually kind of spliced, I showed it last week where I actually almost did like a provisional cast on. I put the stitches for the entire row on the needles, and then I took a second set of needles and I put it on the row 2 rows up, and then I cut the center row. And then I knitted the 2 together and added about 1.5 inches to 2 inches to the collar to make it so it was wider. So if you do make this, and I made the widest version, you could choose how wide you wanted the poncho to be. And the width would be like from your neck down to your arms. I chose the widest because I'm kind of a wide sort of person. So if you do make it, you might want to just make it an inch or 2 longer than what they say. At least for me, that worked out. So I'm going to put this on and show it to you, what it looks like when I'm wearing it. Here it is when I'm wearing it. I'll turn around here. And you can see it comes down pretty good in the back. I'm real happy with the length this way. This would be the width. Like I said, you have choices of how wide you want it. I like the width of it. I like how long it is this direction. It was just a little snug here, but it's comfortable now, so I probably will leave it how it is. And I'll move up a little closer so you can see. It goes lovely with my red shirt. But anyway, the buttons I put on here look like little compasses. I'll show those up close in a minute. Now I have a tutorial that I'm going to be doing on Wednesday, and I'm going to show how to put these plaid lines into this. It's called duplicate stitch. So I will be demonstrating how to do that. And this is what the little buttons look like. And I got these at Joann's. They were pretty cheap. I think there was 9 or 10 buttons to a bag for a couple of dollars. And I actually used them on another project that I had, so these were extras. And this requires 5 buttons. So those are my 3 finished objects for this week. So now let me tell you what I'm doing for my works in progress. I'm using this bag. Thank you for those of you who explained to me what these tabs were for that are here. I'm not using them. I do have yarn coming out of this hole right here. The only problem is when I try to show it to you and show you the yarn, it's like caught through the bag. But anyway, the first thing I'm doing is a crochet pattern. Okay. I am making the butterfly shawl. It is by N.J. Sharon, modified by Debbie Adams. It's actually called the Butterfly Stitch Prayer Shawl. There isn't a picture here to show you. I saw this. I know Charlene did one for the fall along, and somebody else did too, and that's what kind of prompted me to try it, because I thought it was really pretty and very delicate. And I had this yarn, which I got at my local yarn shop, which is the Creative You, and this is Queensland Collection, and this is Cassowary, and it is a colorful Australian fine wool blend. So, but this is what it looks like. It is a gradient, so it goes anywhere from teals and grays up to kind of a very light dusky purple. And there are, it's called Aquamarine, that's the name of this dye, or the colorway. And there are 380 yards or 347 meters in it. It's a 100-gram ball, and the yarn is 70% wool, 30% nylon. So, and it is a single ply. It doesn't look like it's plied. I think it's singles, yeah. So, but I really like it. And here's what my progress is on it so far. It kind of leaves it up to you in the pattern as far as what weight yarn you use and what size hook that you use for it. And this particular yarn is, I would say, fingering weight. Looking to see if it says anywhere. It says it's a superfine. It's a number 1. You can see it right there. Number 1 superfine. I would say it's like a fingering, between a fingering and a lace weight. More toward the fingering weight. And I am using a 4mm hook. Look at that. It matches. I didn't plan it that way. It just happened. And here is my butterfly shawl so far. I haven't gotten too far on it. But I was so excited. You guys that know that I am fairly new to crochet, I actually figured out the pattern. I was so impressed. You can see it gets its name butterfly because of these little open areas here resemble a butterfly. So there it is. It kind of starts in a purple and it goes to a kind of a dusty teal, and then it's into a purple, and now it's into a more brilliant teal on the edges so far. It's not showing up as well in the color in the camera because teals just don't show up well. Teals and blues do not show up well in camera. It really is not as washed out as it's looking. So anyway, that is my crochet project. My knitting project that I'm working on, I am using some of my Hobium yarn. This is part of my Make 9 projects, was the butterfly shawl, the pocketbook. I'm getting a jump start on my Make 9. But one of my goals was to make a sweater out of some of the Hobium yarn that I have got, because I keep recommending it to you all in the Come and Get It section, but I actually hadn't knitted with it. So I am doing that now. And what I am using is Kartopu, the Basic, and it is wool. It's actually a 30% wool, 70% acrylic. And there's 300 meters in a 100-gram ball. And I have 5 of these, and here's the color that I'm using. It's like an antique gold. Those of us who grew up in the 70s, it is harvest gold. There we go. And then the color I'm mixing it with is a hand-dyed yarn that I got at the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival last year. And it is by yarnhig.com. I'll put it right down here because I probably am totally butchering how to spell that. But it is a sock weight. It says fine fingering sock weight. So it is a 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and there are 408 yards in each skein, and I have 2 skeins. And the colorway is called Amber Plus, and here it is. It's kind of creams. This is not a white. It's kind of a real light creamy color, and then it moves to this darker gold, and then it moves almost to a brown, and then it has these really pretty little pops. There you can see it, little pops of teal that are in it. Now what I'm making with this is a free pattern. Everybody was making this a couple years ago, and I'm a little slow to jump on the bandwagon apparently, but I am making the Flax Light sweater by Tin Can Knits. There it is here. It's a simple raglan sleeve, which means that the sleeves are not attached later. They actually have increases from the neck down to just under the arm. That's where your increases for your sleeves go. And it is knit all in one piece, so there's no seaming at all. You just kind of hold the stitches on the needles for your arms, knit the body, and then go back and finish up the sleeves. So there it is. And it has like a design feature right along the shoulder seam and down the arm. It has a garter stitch, which is kind of a bumpy type of pattern, and I'll show that to you in a minute. Like I said, it's knit from the neck down. So here is the neck, and then you can see the pops of teal that are in it. It looks blue, but it's teal. And those raglan increases are right along here. You can see kind of right here. So the stitches get a little bit wider because this section between these 2 stitch markers is where the arm will eventually go. And you can see the pattern change. This is done in stockinette. And then here's the garter section. So you can see it's got more texture to it. So, and this is all the farther I have so far. This sweater can be knit all the way from, it's got huge size ranges here, from 0 to 6 months up to a 4XL. I'm not making the 4XL. I'm actually making the 2X. But, yeah, it's a pretty sweater. I like the way it fits. It's just kind of a round collar, like a crew neck type of collar. So that is my knitted sweater that I'm working on. And here's what the 2 colors look like when they're held up together. And these are really, really soft. So this is going to be a super soft, snuggly sweater when I finish with it. The third project I'm working on is a project I started on late last spring, early summer, and then I set it aside for a few months. I didn't forget about it, I just didn't get back to it. And that is a shawl that I am designing for my Ravelry shop. And I pretty much know what I'm going to name it at this point. I'm going to show it because I haven't shown it, I don't think, for quite a while. It is a shawl that is going to be pretty much reversible. You can wear it either. There's no real wrong or right side to it. I mean, I guess technically there is, but it's done a lot in garter stitch and different variations of basket weave. So one side of it, it's constructed with short rows. So it is a solid color here, and then there will be 5 different shades that it comes up. And I'm on the 4th shade, and each of these different colors here has a different pattern to it. And then as it comes across, it gets wider. There you can see it. So at its widest, and this is a long shawl. It's actually 300 stitches long. And then you do short rows. That's what forms this over here, where it gets narrower. So it's kind of fanned when it comes across. And the different patterns that are in here. Here's the first one. Like I said, the main color is actually called Taupe Heather. It is Cloudborne Sock. It's very soft. It's 100% wool. And it's actually on sale right now from Craftsy. So I will tell you a little bit about that later on. Then we have this first panel here, and this is a Knit Picks yarn. This is Knit Picks palette. It's a good workhorse yarn. It's actually on sale as well right now. So there's the first one, and this is Oregon Coast Heather. And then the next pattern here is called Camel. The next one up here, and this is the most traditional basket weave pattern that I have in here, and it's my least favorite. So I might change this out. But anyway, it's called Doe. I like the color, just not sure if I like that pattern with it or not. And then the one I'm currently in is probably my favorite bunch. And it's called Mongoose. So here's where I was when I was working on this the last time. Is right here. And I have knit up through here. So that is that particular project. Now we have a special congratulations to Fran. Fran actually knitted a pattern. It's called the Feather and Fan Flare by Ann Budd. Now when she knitted this sweater, and I'm going to insert a picture here. She told me she knitted it actually kind of to test the pattern before she tried to make it for herself. With some better yarns. So she just used some of her scrap yarns to make it the first time. But she posted a picture of it, and Ann Budd, the designer, saw the picture. Now, if you're not familiar with who Ann Budd is, she is a very, very well-known pattern designer. She's been interviewed by the folks over at Fruity Knitting, so quite impressive. Anyway, Ann Budd commented on her picture and invited her to join her Facebook group. So way to go, Fran. That was really good. We have a celebrity in our midst. Now I have several different video clips that I'm going to be adding in today. The first thing I'm going to show you is our show and tell from everybody. And then if you remember last week, I said that my husband and I don't buy Christmas gifts for each other. We go shopping for together, like as just a couple's date day or whatever. And we go out and we do our own shopping. We set a budget for each other and then we go shopping. So we went up to Lidditz, Pennsylvania, and Lancaster, Pennsylvania. They're like right next door to each other. They're like 6 miles apart. So we went up there for the day, and I have some footage of our visit as well as some footage of the yarn shops. I went to 2. I went to one called Ubiquitous, which is in Lidditz, Pennsylvania, and then I also went to, it's called Flying Fibers, and that's in Landisville, which is just outside of Lancaster. So I'm going to insert the footage from our little after Christmas date day. I'm in Lancaster, and Dave is in a shop that he's interested in, and I'm sitting here working on my virus shawl. So we are headed from here up to Lidditz to this little yarn shop called Ubiquitous. So I'll show you when we get there. Now I have one more yarn shop to visit, and that's my local yarn shop, but I'm going to do that Tuesday night when I go to my knit night, because it's been closed the last 2 weeks because of Christmas and New Year's both falling on Tuesday night. So now you're probably wondering, what did I buy? Let me tell you. At Ubiquitous, which was the first store I went to, I bought this. It is Rita Mae yarns, and it's the Sweet Pea sock base. And the colorway is Ubiquitous. She is a local dyer, and she actually dyed this specifically for the store based on their colors. So it's a teal and an orange and a white. And you know, the funny thing is, when my niece got married, these were the colors in her wedding, was kind of a corally, orangey color and teal. So, not sure what I'm going to make out of this yet, but it is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and there are 463 yards in this skein. So, and it's a fingering weight yarn. So there it is. And then when I went to Flying Fibers carries a lot of yarns from the UK. They also carry Brooklyn tweed, which you have to be like they only sell their things in certain regional yarn stores type of thing. It's not like every yarn store can carry it. So I bought some. I bought some from them last time too. They also carry like Quince & Co., which isn't something you can normally get to in any of the places around here that I've ever been to. So the first thing I bought was Brooklyn tweed. It's 100% American merino wool, and this is their Peary yarn weight. The color is called Marigolds. It is sourced in Utah and Nevada, spun in Springvale, Maine, and dyed in Saco, Maine. One of my favorite states. It is a fingering weight, and there's 210 yards in it. And I got this to go with it. This is hedgehog fiber, and I almost didn't recognize it because they've changed their logo. Their logo used to look different. I like their old logo better. Yeah, they just have an HHF for hedgehog fiber now, but this is in their Bollywood colorway. And let me hold it out here so you can see it. That's pretty true to color. It has a lot of these kind of fiery red colors, but then it's got pops of purples and oranges and yellows. And so I really thought it would look good with this, because this gold is in some of the colors, like right in here. There are some. So those two together. No clue what I'm making with it, but there it is. So that is my acquisitions. Now, last week I also talked about my Make 9 list and what I was going to make the different yarns or the different projects with. So the first thing that was on my Make 9 list was a sweater with Hobium yarn, which I'm working on. Releasing the shawl pattern, which I'm working on. A cotton bamboo sweater that I'll work at in the spring. Some socks, I haven't started those yet. The butterfly shawl, which you saw what I'm doing there. Let me show you the yarn that I am going to make the bamboo cotton sweater out of. This is some yarn that has been discontinued. I made a gray and white sweater out of it last year. I also have this in like a tangerine color, but it's in a teal, kind of Tiffany blue. And then it goes to a real light, like washed out Tiffany blue. And then I have some yarn that I got from my local yarn store that is also a bamboo, and it's in a solid color, so I will be striping them together, because this yarn, I have a feeling, was discontinued because it is so snaggy. It's one of those like netting yarns that they blow the fiber into. It's extremely soft, but just on my hands itself, it just snags up a lot. So I found that if I stripe it with a little bit more substantial yarn, this is extremely soft too. It's called Baby Love. I have found that these two together work really well, and it does not snag up as much. So that's what I'm going to be making the bamboo cotton sweater out of. And it'll be like short-sleeved or something like that. The socks, I'm not sure what yarn I'm going to make them out of. I have several different sock yarns. The chunky purse I've already made. I'm going to crochet a sweater. Annie's giveaway from last week, they also gifted me a crocheted pattern for the weekend casual. So my goal is to get far enough advanced with crochet that by the end of the year I can crochet that sweater for myself. I also am going to be making 4 cowls for Christmas presents. And I also want to work on, when I make those, I want them to be a design cowl. So I have this bundle of yarn that I'm going to put together. Show you what it is. These two are hedgehog fiber, and this is what their label used to look like. It was kind of speckled. I bought this a couple of years ago, I think 2 years ago, up in New England at Madison Wool. So it's a white with some, it's really getting blown out, but it's a white with some like hot pink in it. Let's see if I can get it. Hot pink in it and black speckles. There we go. And then this is just a tonal gray that will pick up the kind of black tonal grays that are in here. And then I also bought this, I think, last year at Flying Fibers. This is Wensleydale Gems, which is a West Yorkshire spinners brand. And it's this hot pink, which ties into the hot pink here. And then if I still need it to be bigger, this is some yarn that I got off of eBay a while back. It's extremely soft. It's called Erdos. Has little llamas on the front. And it's extremely soft, and it's in a pink as well. So these are the colors that are going to eventually possibly go together for a cowl. And then I said I was going to make something beaded. Now the something beaded, this is yarn. I have 2 skeins of it that I bought at my local yarn store. It is by Knitting Beaver. It's called Painted Desert. And look at the pretty colors. They're just a really, really soft pastel, and it has some kind of really light greens in here. They're kind of baby colors, but I have some iridescent, little teeny kind of pinkish iridescent beads that will look really good with this. And this is a very fine fingering weight, so they'll slide on there pretty easy. But I have 2 skeins, and that's what this is going to go for. That's going to be my beaded item. So that's what I'm going to be making my Make 9 with. Now it's time for our Now in our Come and Get It section, first we have Annie's. Now, if any of you were watching, I put up 2 separate videos about a giveaway that Annie's is running right now. I'm not connected with it in any way other than I'm an affiliate, so I announced it for them. I will tell you a little bit about it. I put up 1 video with a little bit of a tutorial, and I found that most people were not reading it all. It's like maybe 45 seconds to a minute long, but people were clicking the link and thinking it was going to take them directly to the entry form, and it doesn't. And when you click the link, and the link is down below in Annie's, it will take you just to their website. So if you want to see the tutorial how to get to the giveaway, I will put a little link here. If you click the little I, that will take you to that tutorial. The giveaway is for over $2,500 worth of craft supplies. Now, here's the thing, though. They are only offering it to U.S. residents and Canadian residents, and Quebec is not included in that. I don't know why. Don't shoot the messenger. I don't know why they did it that way and didn't open it up internationally. The only guess that I can make is maybe the customs fees and things for other countries with the amount of stuff that they are shipping and the weight that was involved to ship it might have made it just a little too much to do. That's my only guess. But anyway, so it is only offered to U.S. residents and Canadian residents, but not Quebec. The giveaway runs from January 1st until February 28th, and then I believe they're going to make the announcement somewhere in the first week or two of March. Somewhere around the 7th or 8th of March, they will pick the winner. So that is what's going on with Annie's. They also have a bunch of yarn in clearance, so you might want to check them out. I have a new affiliate link with a company called Consumer Crafts. It's similar to Joann's or Michael's or AC Moore. They carry a variety, not just knitting and crochet. They carry quilting. They carry all kinds of other stuff, sort of like what Craftsy does. So anyway, they, as far as yarn, carry Bernat, Red Heart, Deborah Norville, Premier, and sales-wise right now, they're offering a 3-tiered rolling metal cart. It's similar to the one IKEA sells, but theirs is like $25 right now. So it's only running for this week, so you might want to check that one out. They offer free shipping on orders over $49. And right now, through this Sunday, they are running, which will be January 6th. Through January 6th, they are running $10 off of every $40 that you spend, but you need to put the coupon code New Year 19. I'll put it right here. You have to put New Year 19 in there to get that discount offered. Now, Craftsy is just a little warning. They're changing their name. I don't know why. I liked the name Craftsy, but they're changing it to Bluprint. So if you see things that say Bluprint, it is the old Craftsy. They are selling, they have some of their yarns on clearance right now. They also have some that are cheaper. They are selling the Sprightly, which is what I made my poncho out of. That is for $3.16. Hobium is Hobium. Everything in there is always usually about 40% off. And if you buy yarn in bundles of 5, they sell them in single skeins or in bundles of 5. The bigger bundles you buy it in, the cheaper the yarn comes out to. So anyway, there's Hobium. Knit Crate is, of course, you can have 20% off of your first subscription box. You do need to put the coupon code in Katrinascreations20 to get that percentage off. Knit Picks has 40% off of all of their books right now. They also have their yarn of the month that is 20% off is their Shine brand, which you can get the worsted weight or the sport weight for $3.19. And the Shine is a 60% Pima cotton and 40% beechwood fiber. I'm not sure what that is. I'm thinking it's more like along the lines of a bamboo type of thing. So anyway, that's what Knit Picks is selling. And Lion brand has their mandala yarn on clearance right now. You can buy a bundle of 3-pack of the mandala yarn for $10, which is a really good deal. They also are selling their DI yarn for $2 for a 3-pack skein, or 3-pack bundle. So it's 3 skeins for $2. So that's a good deal too. So the links to all of those are right down below in the description box. Just scroll down and you will see them. And if you click on the Annie's one, that will take you to the main page, and then follow the instructions on the tutorial to get yourself over to get entered. You do not have to be a member of Annie's in order to do it. So yeah, there it is. They also offer a service where you can go in and check out their they have like a video series similar to what Craftsy has, where they have teaching videos and things. And you can actually check that out too. It's called their Creative Studio. You can look at that if you would like to as well, because you do have to click through that to get to the giveaway page. So that is it for our week. And this Wednesday's week that's coming up, the video that will be shown is how to do the overstitching or duplicate stitching for that poncho. You can use that to do initials. If you're making an item and you want to put a sweater and you want to put an initial on it or a flower or design on it, you can do it by doing duplicate stitch. So that's what's going to be demonstrated on Wednesday's video. I'm in the process, I don't know if you noticed, back behind me, there's my blocking boards. Blocking boards right over, I have to think backwards, right over there. there's my blocking boards, and right below there is a pile of yarn. If you only saw what the room looked like the other day. I'm reorganizing all of my yarn stash because it was getting out of hand, and opening my closet, things were flying out at me. So I just kept buying things and stuffing them into the closet so I could reorganize, and so that day has come. So I will hopefully not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday have a video up on my craft cave organization or reorganization. Hopefully it'll stay fairly neat. It stays, my intentions are good. It starts out well, and then after a few months down the road, I just start not putting things away, and it ends up a mess. And then we have company stay, and I just shove it wherever it'll fit. And that's kind of what happened over Christmas, so now I need to straighten out my mess. So I'm just like a little kid. I need to go clean my room. So be staying tuned to see that episode. But that's it for this week. I hope you all had a nice new year, and I will see you again on Wednesday and on Saturday. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.